There were attacks from outside. There were attacks from inside. Nehemiah refused to abandon the race. He refused to abandon his assignment. If you make up your mind, if you decide to abandon your assignment because of attacks, it means you are not convinced about that assignment originally. One of the things that has helped me over the years, whatever I'm not convinced about, I don't go into it. But once I'm convinced about a cause, about a vision, and I step into it, no demon can stop me. Even the absence of resources cannot stop me. Do you know what I say concerning absence of resources? For there may not be resources today, resources will come tomorrow. So don't say because there is a shortfall of resources, you will now abandon your dream. It's a disservice to your destiny. So there are people who abandon their race in life. Number two, there are people that finish badly. They started very well. There are people that finish badly. They finish their journey in life badly. Samson started very well. Samson started powerfully. We have his account in book of Judges chapter 15, 14 to 16. Judges 16, verse 25. We have the case of how he finished badly. Samson started well. Samson progressed beautifully, but he finished badly. Another person that finished badly was King Saul. King Saul. King Saul. He started well. In fact, King Saul made a confession himself after he was anointed as the king. He said, I am the least in my father's house. Even my father's house is the least in our clan. How come the Lord has chosen me to be the king? Please, don't forget where God brought you out from. If you forget, you will mess up. Don't allow success to enter your head, though. Some people, when they have a little success, it enters their head and they begin to misbehave. They begin to call those who are older than them, boy, you, boy, boy. That you are succeeding has not increased your age. Your older brother is your older brother. That you are succeeding has not increased your age. Your landlord is your landlord. You misbehave before your landlord, he go show you. Some landlords, they are demonic. They don't fear God, though. They don't fear God. Saul forgot where God brought him out from. God told him, go to the Amalekites, destroy all things. Why did God ask him to destroy all things? You can't question God. You can't query God. Saul actually went there, destroyed many things, but he spared the king, Agag. Some fat animals, fat cows, he spared them. Do you know what he did by sparing some animals? Some people gave him the suggestion, the advice. Be careful of how you respond to people's counsel. Be careful the kind of advice people give you. Particularly when someone who has tried business about 10 times and the business has failed and is doing nothing presently, is now your counselor giving you 5 tips to business breakthrough. If the tips work for him, his business will not fail 10 times. Hallelujah. A lady was online now. There are many teachers there, many preachers, many counselor, many motivation speaker, many mentor. You see some people introduce themselves: teacher, mentor, trainer, kinikan. She walked out of her marriage. In fact, she was married twice. She's now a teacher, teaching on how marriage works. You walk out of 2 marriages, one after the other. You say, yes, I'm sharing my experience with them. Don't share your experience. Let those who are in marriage 20 years, 30 years, 15 years, share the experience. And some people will still be healing such a person. They will still see that. Don't tell me she's hearing the experience of her failure. No, that experience cannot be balanced. It can't be balanced. So be careful the kind of counsel you receive. They told King Saul, let us spare some fat animals. You will need it for sacrifices. So he listened to them. The second time, men destroyed him ultimately. Samuel told him, oh yeah, go to Gilgal, wait for me 7 days. And on the 7th day, I will come as the prophet to come and offer sacrifice. The first day, second day, third day. Then on the 7th day, Bible says, when Samuel did not come quickly, the people advised him, you are the king, Ijo, carry out the sacrifice. And he listened to them. He carried out the sacrifice. Saul is not David. David was both a king and a prophet. Even at some point, David still gave the provision, the regard for a prophet. He still consult prophets. But Saul assumed the position of a prophet, rendered the sacrifice. Bible says, as soon as he finished rendering the sacrifice, Samuel came in, still on the 7th day. Samuel did not break his word. Samuel did not come on the 8th day. He still came on the 7th day. And Samuel said, what is it that you have done? And Samuel told him, the kingdom has been torn into pieces. He said, it was the plan of God to keep the throne in your father's house till eternity. But God has changed his mind. We used to sing a song, how changeable God do, how changeable, how changeable. If you mess up, he will change his mind. We have account in the Bible, God changed his mind. The nature of God remains the same, but he can change his mind if men mess up. The nature of God does not change. But if you mess up, you break agreement, he will change his mind. So Samuel told Saul, the plan of God was to keep the throne in your father's house till eternity. I'm changing my mind. I have found another person. Say, God has found another person who is after his heart. So there are bad finishers. Bad finishers. Then number 3, there are good finishers. People that finish the assignment well. There are good finishers. Life is all about discovering your purpose and fulfilling your purpose on earth. Life is all about discovering your purpose and fulfilling your purpose on earth. Beloved, anywhere you find yourself in life, you can stand out. As a civil servant, you can stand out. As a businessman, you can stand out. As a student, you can stand out. In that your department, you can stand out. As a believer in Covenant Champion, you can stand out. Provided your mind is made up. Until your mind is made up towards a thing, you can never record any success there. So we have good finishers. Good finishers. Please make up your mind to finish this year well. Make up your mind to finish 2022 well. This is not a time to sleep. This is not a time to lag behind. Don't join the league of people who have already given up on 2022, who are not making fresh attempts over 2022, who are not making new moves over 2022, saying the year is gone. Hear this, the year is not yet gone. Some new doors can still open. Businessmen and women, you can still come in contact with great clients these last few days of the year. But your mind must be made up. Your mind must be prepared. There are good finishers. Then the last part of this message, how to finish your race well. How to finish 2022 well. How to finish your studies well. How to finish your business well. Do you know some of us, the business we are doing presently is a phase of that business. Finishing that phase well will determine when you move to the next phase. Will determine when you move to the next phase. How do I finish my race well? Number one, break away from your past. Break away from your past. I've never seen an athlete, particularly sprint, 100 meters, 200 meters, that's what they call sprint. From 400 meters upward, that is no longer sprint. But 100, 200 meters, I've never seen an athlete in the two categories of sprint that comes first looking backward. No. They always focus on the tail on the end of the race. No one gets to the finishing tape looking backward. Something happened to my younger brother many years ago. That should be about 11, 12 years ago now. It was before he got married. The federal government parastatal he works with, they gave all of them that came into that parastatal brand new car. So they gave him 305 or 405, brand new Tiara bag. So just around this period, few days or a week to Christmas, he decided to come down to Ibadan to come and celebrate Christmas. And they just gave him the car about 3 weeks before that time. So he didn't know how to drive yet. So a friend of his, who has his own family at Ife, offered to drive him down to Ibadan. And he will take transport back to Ife. After Christmas, New Year, he will come to Ibadan. Then they return back to Abuja. So while coming, the younger brother of that friend also came along with them. So that friend was driving, my brother was in front, the younger brother was behind, all the way from Abuja. When they got to Gbangan, his friend and his younger brother, they got engrossed in a discussion. They were discussing some family stuff. And while they were talking, the guy driving just looked back. And don't drive. He looked back. By the time he will face front, there was a stationary truck on the road. You know, they were on